Hey, I got a new mic. So, hang on, something still isn't right here. There we are. So, what better way is there to test drive a new mic than to rehash an idea that's already a year old? So this is my Season 5 wish list. I've tried to keep these as original as possible, so there's no derpy or Discord episode ideas here. I'm sure somebody else will suggest those. There are mostly character studies and expansions, so without further ado, here's the list. I'd like to see the rest of the main six turn to alicorn princesses and watch the fandom's head explode. Okay, but nicking stuff from analysis bronies aside, why aren't the rest of the main six yet alicorns? Ever since the first season, they have all had the power of the elements of harmony, and now rainbow power, despite how silly it looks, and Twilight turned into an alicorn at the end of season 3, so why aren't the rest? I think it would make for some interesting episodes. That said, I will have more to say about rainbow power later in this video. The Return of Chrysalis. Hear me out. First off, our design is quite eerie for MLP, and then there's this line.
I did, didn't I?
Eh? Oh, what about this?
Life is good.
Huh? Oh. Well, I've always thought Chrysalis had a lot of potential as a nemesis for Celestia. They both care about their subjects and are both powerful. The only problem is that her stupidity was the main character trope of Chrysalis. However, if they ramped up her despicability, like in
I did, didn't I?
then they would make a really scary character like
Life is good.
After watching Fall of the Crystal Empire, I was questioning what the relationship between Nightmare Moon and Luna was, because ever since the beginning I thought Luna was possessed by some dark energy becoming Nightmare Moon, kind of like how Sailor Saturn became Mistress 9 in Sailor Moon. But then, and the fact that Luna seemed to be able to change into Nightmare Moon at will in Luna Eclipse makes me wonder if Luna was possessed or if her and Nightmare Moon are the same pony. The Doubter. I think we all know how most ponies and some members of fandom would react if some pony doubted Celestia's godlike power. Pitchforks and torches come to mind, but how would Celestia react to a pony who didn't bow down or view her as omnipotent, but saw her as another pony? Now we all know of Celestia's wrath, but she might view some pony who views her as an equal as a friend. I think it would be a great look into the psyche of someone who is seen as godlike. I'd like to see a heavyweight featherweight episode, because we see so few things about single parents. The closest I've seen was District 9, which is an awful film, where a single parent father alien was wanting to get his son off Earth. The problem was they weren't the focus of the film, so an episode focusing on heavyweight and featherweight would be quite interesting. Can Cream did a video a while ago about the other main six. I can't remember who exactly he said and I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it yet, but I thought an episode centering around a different main six would shake things up nicely. A lot of analysis bronies have said that Pinkie Pie has become nothing more than a comic relief, which even though I didn't notice, I would like to see an episode that focuses on Pinkie Pie's intelligence. She has been shown as intelligent with episodes like Swarm of the Century and Mystery on the Friendship Express and other bits and pieces here and there, so it wouldn't be too far-fetched to have an episode that focuses on Pinkie's smarts. Speaking of Pinkie Pie, I'd like to see another episode about Maud Pie. Not much to say about this one, kind of like the next one. I'd like to see Nicolas Cage do some voice acting on My Little Pony, because my sister is the biggest MLP hater I know. She's also a big fan of Nicolas Cage, so I think it'd be funny to watch our conflict. MLP, oh, but Nicolas Cage. And finally, fame. Ever since the first episode, the main six have influenced events that would likely get some notice from the pony public, from freeing Luna from Nightmare Moon to fighting Tyrek, and it's all been put in stained glass. Granted, Twilight has become as famous as becoming a princess, but why aren't the other main five? I think this would make a good series opener and how fame affects their friendship as well as each individually. For example, an introvert like Rarity would likely be in her element in the centre of attention, but what about an introvert like Fluttershy? So there you have it, my list of episodes that I'd like to see in Season 5 of MLP. But what would you like to see? Please post any ideas you have below. Although one thing before I end, this rainbow power needs to have some rules. I mean, the elements of harmony need all six to be used in order to work, except in Equestria Girls, but there was at least a circumstance that meant that the elements couldn't work. So what would stop the main six from using rainbow power to solve any problem? Kainz and Armour having marriage problems? Rainbow power. Flim and Flam are scamming people? Rainbow power. CMC are convicted of DUI? Little bit of a rainbow power. So what would stop them using rainbow power on each other? So giving rainbow power some rules is a must.